Hey everybody, it's Joshie, and today I thought that I would do a paranormal experience video. I haven't done one of these in a while, but a few of y'all have been asking, and I thought I would go ahead and do one. I've had some going on recently, and some just going on that I've been keeping track of so that I can make a video of it for it later, and I thought that maybe now I have enough to do it. I hope that I do, and I hope y'all enjoy this video. If you do, just let me know down below, and if you've had any really cool or just crazy or just any paranormal experiences, go ahead and comment those down in the comment section because I love hearing those stories. Oh no. The moment my cat went in, he on camera. Ain't that right? Thumbs up now if you like marshmallows. First weird one that I had, or the first weird one I have right here that I had was I was out here on my porch, and there's a little building out here that we have like a refrigerator and like random stuff out there from our old house and stuff in there. And I was out there one night, and I heard the door just randomly, it was all the way shut like moments before, but it literally creaked open by itself, and there was no way it could have done that by itself. So it just opened all by itself, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, oh my gosh, it's a ghost. That one really tripped me out at first. Like, I wasn't really scared because I knew that it wasn't nothing like really threatening or anything. I love the paranormal. If y'all know, I've made paranormal videos before, and I love the paranormal. I'm so very interested in it. It is my life. There was another time I was in here, this was a while back, I don't know how long, but not too long ago. I was in here doing something, and I heard a baby crying or something. Ignore my cat, she's in heat. I heard a baby crying or something, and I was like over here, it was near the door, and I was like, oh my god. Because we have like old stuff in our house, so some of that could cause something like that to happen, so I was like, okay. But I was like not tripped out by that one either. Or not like scared. I don't know if I've told this one on my channel before, but when I was younger, I was something, me and my Nana, I was really young, and I was in the bed with my Nana, and I felt something grab my foot, and it felt like a hand. It had to be a hand or something that was grabbing my foot, and I was like, oh my god. And I was like, Nana, something's like grabbing my foot, and she was like, no, you're good. And she was like actually pulling me up, and she was like, oh my gosh, like she was freaking out a little bit too, but trying not to show it. But whatever it was, like go on my foot, and I was like, oh my god, that was like so scary. I don't know if I've ever told that on here, but that's like one of the scarier ones that I've had. Okay, this one's really trippy. I told my sister about it, and maybe a couple other people, and the guy I was talking to at the time. But one time I thought I had a video of it somewhere. I don't know where it went. I was here, and the phone was in there, and a little bit earlier that day I heard something fall off the table and hit the floor, and I don't know what it was. I never found it. And a little bit later, I'm out here and I hear the phone ring, and I go to get it, and I see my mama's old phone number, and it listed, I think it either had her name or unlisted number. I can't remember all of it, but I know that it was on there, and I was like, oh my god. And I messaged my sister, and I was like so tripped out. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, what if it was like, and then I tried to call the number back, and like, oh yeah, and then I did pick up, and I was like, I heard something, and it wasn't really much, but mostly what I heard was like an Aries sound or something, but I don't know, it just hung up. And then I'll go to call it back, and it's like the line is dead, like the number is not available at this time or whatever. I was like, oh my gosh, that's like one of the really crazy ones. Another really crazy one that I've had. I'm like, oh my gosh, because I was like, that had to be my mama. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I know stuff like that can happen, and maybe it did. I don't know. It trips me out. There was one time me and my ex Josh, we were like going up the road from somewhere going home, and we saw like I don't know how to describe it. It was like a woman dressed in white walking in the graveyard, and he saw it first, and he was like, Joshy, and I was like, what? And he was like, do you see that? And I was like, oh my god. And I was like, who is that? And he was like, that doesn't look like a person, because they looked like the way that it was dressed looked like a different time era or whatever, and it was just like so trippy, and I was like, oh my god. And we were both so tripped out, and then we went back, and there was nobody there. There was no trace that nobody was there, but there was footprints. And we were like, we told that story, we talked about that for like a while, and then it was just like, it was like really scary though. But I was like, oh my god. When I was what language am I speaking? When I was at my friend's apartments, there was like, I was outside smoking one night. This was another time I saw a shadow, and I saw a shadow go from somewhere in the parking lot to behind a car, and I thought it was somebody getting in their car. And I waited and waited, and nobody did anything. Nobody cranked the car. Nobody left. Nobody went behind the car or nothing. Waited and waited, and nobody did nothing. And I was like, oh my God. So I know I saw a shadow go by there, and they never went back. And there was no person that came back. And there had to be like a person to go back or something. They didn't just stand there that long. Like I smoked like a couple cigarettes just waiting. When I was younger, me and my uncle, he used to have this girlfriend who had like a daughter or whatever. Me and her daughter went walking through my uncle's land one time, our trails in the woods. And we got to one point, there was like a little Indian burial type thing. And it gave me the chills. It made me so nervous. I was like, oh my God, I don't think we should be here. It gave me that type of feeling, like I don't think that we should be here. Like I was like, oh my gosh. And we ended up leaving. But the farther we went, the worse I felt. And I was like, I want to leave. Like I was just like, I want to leave. Like we should leave. And we finally did leave. But yeah, it was really, really creepy, that feeling. My friend's like, stepdad or whatever, I don't know what to call him, but he can basically read your mind. Like, oh my God, I was at their house just sitting there, and I was like freaking out about like there's like this older guy, he has like dementia, he can't help it, but he's like really creepy, and I was freaking out about it and just being really anxious and not used to being there in their house and everything. And he comes in there like, maybe you should scoot over and let her sit down. And I'm like, I got so quiet. I was like, what? I mean, I'm good. I was like just sitting there thinking about it, and then all of a sudden here he comes in there, and my friend had told me about it before. He was like, yeah, he can kind of read your mind if he really like, I don't know, he can like pretty much do it all the time or something like that. It's really crazy, but he did read my mind, and I was like, holy shit. And then the rest of the time I remember having to like clear my mind. I was like, don't think thoughts. I don't want you to hear my thoughts. Like, I was so nervous. The last one I'm going to tell you today is when me and my sister and our friend Jerry went to a graveyard one time. We went to go see our friend Jerry's friends that had passed away there. And we ended up looking for my cousin Scotty's grave. At first we couldn't find it because I hadn't been there in a while. And we just looked for a little while, and it started to get... And it started getting dark, and then my sister was like, did you see that? And I was like, what? And then I looked over, and we both saw like a white type shadow with a baseball cap and like whatever like that, with like, it was like a dude, and he was like running from like a tree and ran back behind a tree, and we were like so tripped out. We saw him back behind there, and we ended up finding the grave shortly after that. And I swear it had to be my cousin Scotty. Like, he passed away a long time ago. I love him so much, and I miss him so much. Like, also, I wish I could see him and my mom so much. I miss him so much. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I know some people have been asking for this and I hadn't done this in a while, so I thought I would go ahead and do one for y'all, and I hope y'all do enjoy. Before you go on, if you would like to, please take the time to subscribe to my channel, give Kurt Cobain his rainbow wings, and become a member of the Joshie Army today. And you can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and Snapchat, all under Joshie6, or it's Joshie6, Joshie Cobain, or Joshie Cobain, or it's Joshie Cobain. And you can find all that. I was like, did I say that right? Oh my God. And you can find all that down in the description box down below. And, brow adjustment. And I love you all. I'll see y'all later. Bye, you guys.